like me is never loved. A man like me is never respected. And many years ago, I accepted that. And I continue accepting it. Never, child, ask why. Ask Jesus Christ hanging on the cross. Why did they crucify you? Human beings are like that. Mabulala ababasindisayo. Ask Buddha. Why, Lord Buddha of India, did you die a lonely death under a tree? Ask the Prophet Muhammad. Prophet, one of your wives poisoned you and murdered you. Peace be to you. Why did she do that? And even now, the pain in my life is not yet ended, far from it. There are things that have gone on in South Africa which would make the mountains cry. There are stories which should be told in this country, but which will never be told. All I can tell you is that the burning of our home in 1976 was not the only or the first agony through which I and your late mother went. Nezipho, don't get angry over shadows. Let the pains of the past go by, because if you do, your soul becomes corrupted. Your soul becomes warped. Nezipho, I don't want the Mutwa name to become a name of anger. I foresaw the coming of a terrible disease which was to decimate our people. And people laughed at me when I said this. They said, we are pooper when we are better when I'm not.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Diana Collins-Smith, and I am here at the Oppenheimer Cultural Village in Soweto on this beautiful winter's morning with Lebohong Selo. Hello, Lebohong. Thank you. Very well, thank you. Wonderful to be here with you. Lebohong is the adopted son of beloved Credo Mutwa, and he was also one of Credo's students. So we're going to be talking to him today about his knowledge, about Credo's life. But I'd like to start, Lebo, with a bit of history about you. Where were you born? Who were your parents? And how did you become the adopted son of beloved Baba Credo?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to the viewers. My name is Lebohong Selo, born and breastfed in Soweto.
And then when did your journey start with Baba as a...
Well, I would say my journey with Baba started at the early age, when we were still young boys, when we were still boys, we come here playing drums for the traditional years, not knowing as time goes on, I'll be the one who's going to come and make sure that I protect and become the guardian of the space. What happened is 16 years ago, in fact, before I come to the space, you know, when you start going to school, when you go to secondary, you start dating. So when you date, you start doing things, you forget about other things. Then as I was speaking about faith, then I end up working with different kind of organization. There was one of the greatest organizations that I still admire, even today, that they call Soweto Cliptown Youth. Cliptown Youth.
Yeah,
it was created in 1988 by Bob Nameng, which is older than democracy. It is an organization that used dance theater to tell the stories of Cape Town, things that affect the community of Cape Town, because of Cape Town is still an informal settlement even today. And so the Cape Town Youth gave birth to other organizations. The likes of KYP was born out of Soweto Cape Town Youth, which is Sky. So I was working for that. I was part of the volunteers there, teaching dance, teaching theater, using team buildings, working with the foreign people coming down there. So it happens that in 2006, 7, yeah, when I came here, what happened is we had a misunderstanding because of there were funds that came in there. You know, as people working together without no funds, trying to go back to their ends means when some, especially if you were never workshopped about the funding. When funding comes, everybody wants to grab a piece of that. So it was more of not misunderstanding me and other certain members of the organization because of me and Pope, like, no, guys, the director or the CEO of Soweto, no, guys, yes, you understand, we've got problems in our families. But remember, this funding is for the children, to run the kitchen for the children and to others. So they were not saying, but we understand you are the ones that we want. So they were so misunderstood. Said to Pop, no. Because of these people are against what we are trying to do. Let me just, for now, Jane, have a break and see what can I do. But I was still living in Cape Town. So I took a walk, just walking in the street, not knowing where I go. So I ended up finding myself in the space.
Well, let's just tell our audience a little bit about what the space is. So this was built as the Oppenheimer Cultural Village back whenever, a long time ago.
Let me say,
and they built the towers here.
Let me say, the first thing to be here was the tower, which was built in 1957 in honor of Sir Ernest Oppenheimer. The land was dry, the vegetation was never there. It was only the tower standing there. Hence, they used to call it Oppenheimer Tower. So in 1974, let me say, in the late 1973, Credo Mutwa met up with who's this guy? Gilbert Briscoe, who was the director of the Parks Board. They had an office in Deep Clove. So Credo Mutwa had an open air museum in his house, doing the sculptures in his house. So they were never protected, but he was using a paper mache to make that. And some were destroyed by the weather, and the library was destroyed by the weather, rains and all the stuff. So when they met with Gilbert Briscoe said, no, I understand what you're doing, I love your job and all the stuff. There is an open land, that side, whereby there is only a tower, the land is dry. Let's go and check if you cannot utilize the space to do your artworks, to preserve your artworks and teach other people, especially those who will be coming down to learn about the culture of an African child. That's how they met with Gilbert Briscoe. Gilbert Briscoe said that I will introduce you because I'm a friend to the Oppenheimer families. And then he was introduced to the families, to the Oppenheimers. Then they discussed about the land. Then he was given a lease of 10 years to start working here. Yes, they had the other agreements because of that time it was difficult as a black person to have a land.
So that was 1974, 73,
73, because of the building of the village started in 74.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you said he was here till about 1984. So about
he stayed there until 1984.
Why did he
Let me say 85, quote 84, because it was a 10 years. 85, after the lease of 10 years, it was like, no, you are settled now. So 85, when he left, it was after he had a huge dispute with the traditional healers of Soweto. Because of the traditional of Soweto, thought that Baba was taking a sacred information to the enemies. Because of spiritual, we got to protect. So remember, when Christianity came in, they managed to take through spirituality. So Baba wanted to protect this, save this space, to fight the system spiritually. But the problem with the other associations, traditions was like, no, there are certain things that you cannot speak about with these people. So that is why they had a dispute, they had to fight, they never misunderstood each other. So after he had fought with them and they chased him out of here, he went to Mafikeng because he has built a village like this in Mafikeng under Muputatswana, under Mangope's ruling. And that is where he stayed. Then he left them Letamureng when after Mangope after he made a prophecy about that there's going to be a Mandela will come out of prison. And then when he come out of prison, he's going to overthrow his government as Puputatwana. Puputatwana will fall under South Africa. He chased Baba away. Baba came back to Deep Blue, but he never settled because of his talent. He was a person who would travel around, travel the world, learning and meeting other shamans, other traditional leaders, because of Baba loved education more than anything. That is why he wanted to be a teacher. Yes, he was a teacher, but not a formal teacher, the one that you have to qualify. He wanted to be that. Fortunately, the spirits or the mother nature spirits didn't lead him into go to a box class and say 1 + 1 is 2. They gave him a circle, a sangala for Baba. You can be able to teach using African skills, African way of life. So that's how Baba left the place after he had a dispute with the traditional leaders of Soweto.
But there had also been an attempt on his life, hadn't there?
The attempt, yes, there were attempts.
Yeah.
There were a lot of attempts. Because there were others who had jealousy again because of the power that Baba possessed. You know, there are those who would love you and there are those who will hate you.
Yeah.
Because of the power and the gift that he had. Because of Baba had those gifts when he was still a young boy. Baba would heal, had the power to heal when he was still poor. By the age of 8 years, Baba would heal.
Okay. Lebo, just to go back to your lineage, so looking into your face, you look like you have some Bushman in you. Is that right?
I would say so, because of all of us, as the two people, especially those who were born, I would say in SADC, 70-80% of us, our lineage goes by the Kwa and the San people, the Kwa and the Kwa people. Yes.
And do you know which side that is from, your father's side or your mother's side?
It's mainly from my father's side.
Okay,
Yes.
right. Interesting, very interesting.
And both, they come from the very same clan. They are the Bataung clan and the Basotho. So I'm the king
of that
in my clan, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because of both my parents, they were born in the very same clan.
Very interesting, very interesting. All right, so going back to Baba, so then Baba left here, and where did he go?
So for when he left the space, he went and worked in Shamwar. No, he went to Henops.
Henops?
Yes,
Oh, I didn't know he'd lived in Henops.
Yes,
Okay.
he's got a village in Henops.
Has he?
Yes, Magaliesberg.
Okay.
Yes.
And how long was he there for?
He spent a few years there. Then from Henops, he went to Eastern Cape.
Yes.
Shamwar Game
Okay.
Reserve.
Okay.
Before it was a game reserve, Baba was there. He's the one who built it.
He built it?
Yes. Before it became a game reserve, it was a village. Baba's village there.
Okay.
Then that is when they're from there. He ended up because of after the death of after the passed on of Mangobo.
Who was his wife?
Ngobomkhulu.
Yes.
Mamnandi, the one who gave Baba 7 best, powerful, beautiful, and handsome children.
Children.
Yes.
So when did she die? What date was that?
She passed on in the year 2010. No, 2000. No, 2010. No, in the year 2000. Then 2010 it was Nandi. Yeah.
Okay. And then where did he go to from there?
Then from there, that is when, after the death of Mangobo, he went back to Putatswana because he had a house in Putatswana. He had a house. He still have a house in Putatswana. One of his sons still lives in Putatswana, and his grandchildren are still in Putatswana.
So whereabouts in Putatswana? Because that's
no, let me say northwest in Mafikeng.
Mafikeng, okay.
Yeah, in Mafikeng. Right. I still replace in Mafikeng. So he still have a house there. So from there, then after while they were still in Mafikeng, or after the death of Mama, he called all the funeral. He called all his children in Mafikeng to be seated standardly and tell them that they know that the mother is no longer there. So he must take another person who will take care of him because of they won't be able to take us when we make the stuff. That is when she took Ujisaleti, Virginia. Because of Virginia came as an initiate, and she was the one who was cooking for them. Yeah. She was the helper, their helper at the same time. Then they didn't expect that she will choose Disality as a wife. They thought maybe might take Majanisa or Mam Koka as a wife. Then she took Disality. Then when they still dated together, then they decided to move out and settle in Kurumani. The reason why he went to Kurumani, it was not because of he wanted to settle there, because of he was tired. And he wanted to go to a hiding where nobody cannot disturb his spirit, his peacefulness. Unfortunately, there was always satellites. We managed to trace him.
I met him several times in Kuruman.
Yes.
And I believe that's where Virginia came from. That was her hometown.
Originally, Virginia is a Quaison.
Is she a Quaison?
100%.
From where, though?
100%. I think she's from Namibia. 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Well, of course, there's a lot of Khoisan in that area. Kuruman,
yes. So Kuruman, it's just because of they go down like this. So remember, it's not far from there. So they come down to Kuruman. That is why you find a lot of the Khoisans in Kuruman.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, so that's where I met him in Kuruman. I never met him when he lived here. All of these sculptures that he's built here at the Oppenheimer Cultural Village here in Soweto, they all have significance and meaning.
Yes.
So we're going to go into that a little bit later in the interview as to what all of these things mean. And I presume he built them under commission by the Oppenheimer family.
No, he was never commissioned by the Oppenheimer families.
Okay.
He was endorsed by the Parks Board.
Yes.
Because of the people who were working under him. Their salaries came from the Parks Board. So he had a good relationship with the Parks Board because of most of the material came from the Parks Board. So when they're cleaning all the waste material, when they were cleaning the cemeteries, they will collect all the waste materials and bring them here. And Baba will take that waste and turn it into art. But that is why when he left the space, he requested the city park, by then it was still Parks Board, before the city parks came to be, that please, when I leave, all my men, people who are working for me, please put them under the Parks Board. That is why those people, they end up working for the city parks.
Okay.
So we can say he was not commissioned as such, but endorsed by the land, by the Parks Board.
Okay, because this site needs to be protected by the Parks Board or whoever it is, so that it's not vandalized.
Which is the case. When I came here 16 years ago, there was a huge tape here. A huge tape. The aim was to destroy the space, and the aim was to crush the work that Baba left behind and the legacy of Baba by the system itself. So that is why even today, I'm still fighting with the system. I'm still fighting with the government to protect the space. Yes, they've been promising, I understand the community out there, they see project coming, not understanding what I'm going through with the space. Even today, I'm still fighting with the government. Even today, they don't do anything for the space, the government. Today, they have employers who are working. If you can go right now, they're sitting up there, not doing anything. The very same ladies who came and took the chairs are the ones who are supposed to be cleaning the space. They're not doing anything. Today I've got a short breath because of the space. Fortunately, I don't have a touch of a TP because of the space. Without anybody supporting me, without any cent from the government that it will come. But what they do is they always take credits.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
but it's not for them. It is for the legacy of
for the work that you do. It's very significant work. And one day the protection will come, the money will come to protect these places. So in the meantime, thank you for the work that you're doing here. Can you tell us a little bit about Credo's background? We know that he was a Zulu shaman. He took initiation as a Zulu shaman at Adam's Calendar in the Eastern Transvaal, what is known now as Mpumalanga.
Mpumalanga, yes.
And then he decided to break silence about the secrets of being a Zulu shaman. Do you know what his reason was for breaking the silence?
Each and every person has a purpose in this world. And then there are people who were brought in this world to break the chain or of slavery, to break the chain of the mental slavery, to break those codes that are placed there, that people need to know the truth, what is happening. So Baba, why he managed to break that and speak about that? It is because he felt that there is a lot of things that people need to know about, especially an African child, that there are certain things that are happening that they need to know, that the world or certain few, I don't want to say cult, but few people are controlling them. So this is the time maybe I should break the curse and tell the people what is happening, so that if you want to go there, you should understand and be ready and prepared. What are you going to face there? That is why he had to pray. He had to break the code and speak about what is happening there to become a shaman.
Which was a very dangerous thing to do. He was very brave to do that.
Already has been braved before. Remember, the first bravery that he showed, it is when he sacrificed some of his life to preserve the space, to create the space. It was never easy as a black child or as a black person to be given such a space to push, especially your beliefs. Because of, remember, South Africa, it's a Christian, mainly it's a Christian country.
Yes.
By people who were not allowed to perform the ways of land of worshipping.
Yes.
So Credo Mutwa was given the space. That says there is something that he had to sacrifice to make sure that this space stays and teach the black child.
Yes.
So that is where the bravery came up.
Yes.
Then later it was like, let me break the chain.
What was interesting is that Credo was not a Zulu. He was half Zulu. So he wasn't 100% Zulu.
Half Zulu, half Khoisan.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. So for him to have had been initiated as a Zulu shaman was already unusual, I would have thought.
Yeah.
You know, that they had taken him into the fold and then he went and broke silence. But I believe, as you say, that was because he was told that he needed to just break free, so let people know what was going on.
We should understand the spirit speaks to us in many ways.
So he was initiated at Adam's Calendar, which we know is a very sacred site.
Inzalo Yelanga.
Is that what the name is?
Yeah, we call it Inzalo Yelanga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's a grave there with a very long grave that's been photographed with X-ray photography. And they say that it's a very large being in that grave. Could be an Anunnaki.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, do you know about that?
You should remember that giant grave that is there. The first people to walk in Africa, to walk in this continent, were gigantic people.
Yes.
The red people, as the color red.
Yes.
Who gave birth to the Ndu people. So
who gave birth to which people?
To the Ndu people.
Ndu people.
Yeah, Ndu, which is now they call them the Bantu people, or the Ndu we speak about, or the children of the sun. Yes, so the persons, we the people, we the Ndu of the people, we derive from the red people, the gigantic people. Yeah. So yes, it's a true.
So these sculptures that we have here, these are the giant people.
This it is to show. Same time is to show that the life of the gigantic people, and at the same time, this is not that we worship. This is a language that Credo Mutwa communicates, because of Africans, art is a language to us. That is why before the alphabetical order, we were using the symbols, and the symbols that represents art themselves. So much more like an African prayer, Africans used to pray. But before, that is why they were gigantic people. That is why when you go to China, you find a big footprint of a gigantic person. It's only in China and in South Africa.
Only in China and South Africa?
Yes.
Okay. So those giant people didn't walk.
For Michael Challenger,
yes,
to go to Inzalo Yelanga and rename Inzalo Yelanga into Adam's Calendar, it's after he made a research, after he made an interview with Ubaba. Baba told him about Inzalo Yelanga. He went and made a research and found Inzalo Yelanga, and he took over and called it the Adam's Calendar.
So was Baba cross about that?
He was never happy about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, it's good that you put us right on that. Very important.
Because of certain things had to be removed. That's like the clitoris. Have you been to Adam's calendar?
Yes, many times.
You saw the clitoris stone.
Yes.
That says the mother, the nature itself, was moved on its original space and placed there to be removed and be taken to other spaces. A lot of things, stones were changed there to suit certain energies. Because when you remove that, you change the energy.
Well, to go into the more spiritual, esoteric aspect, the grid, there's an energetic grid that goes around the planet, the Earth. Okay. They say that has shifted in recent years because we're going through these very auspicious times. So my question to you, high energy places like Adam's calendar, has it lost its power? Has it lost its efficacy?
Well, nothing that is nature that lost its power. Nature things that still have their own natural powers. It is us people who lose touch with that. Because we end up going there, doing things that are not supposed to be done. We go in there, eating things that are not supposed to be eaten. And then we claim and say that, I'm pure. You need to be pure and spiritual if you want to see that things, natural things are still working. Because of those are the natural creations, not the man-made things. Things that dies are the things that are made by the person, by the human being. But if they're created by the universe itself, by the creation itself, the spirit is still there, the purpose is still there. It's only as we change upon those things.
Okay, all right. I hear you, that makes sense. But the changes that are happening now, there's a lot of changes happening on the planet now, energetically. And I believe that we are possibly becoming more powerful as our consciousness rises and our connection to the Spirit, Mother, Father, God. And we are able to bring about things that we don't need to go to high frequency places anymore to get that power, to do ceremony, etc. Okay.
It takes us to what I'm saying. It's the nature that does everything. It's all about us. What do we absorb and how do we use and how do we channel ourselves towards those change of energies itself. So if we put ourselves, if we channel ourselves in a positive way, in a right and align ourselves, you will feel those things. There are those who doesn't see that because they're still blind. But once they start opening the vision eye and start being enlightened, it's easier for them to do that. The nature communicates with us. We don't communicate with nature because we are part of the nature. We are not bigger than the nature.
But obviously that site was a place where for many centuries, people did ritual there.
Definitely.
It's a very significant place. Do you have any idea who placed the standing stones there?
Honestly, I don't have an idea. But all I can say, nature provides, nature preserves, nature heals.
Because
nature does some powerful things. It's the same as the stones that you find in Zimbabwe. The one that's on the tip, which is like it's fall. It wants to fall. Who knows? Maybe as the gigantic people, the red people before, because of people are powerful, people had the powers to move the stones without using the modern technologies. They would use urine and they could create their own ice and use iron and other techniques to move big rocks to certain spaces.
And balance them on top of each other. That's exactly what it looks like.
And even the nature itself can do that without being touched by a human being.
That's right.
So hence I'm saying,
so just wanted to check it. Baba did his initiation in that very sacred place. And then soon after his initiation, his teacher sent him up to Inyanga in Zimbabwe for further training.
Yes.
And it was while that he was there that he had some encounters with some ETs.
Yes.
You know those stories?
When Baba was adopted by the aliens.
Adopted by them?
Yes, he was adopted by them.
Is that the term he used?
Yes.
Because he did some very painful experiments.
Yeah, that was a hectic place. And it was not only him who was adopted by his own aliens in Zimbabwe. There was another white guy who was taken by the aliens. They were all together in a space, and they were to put some metals, they had to put some sharp metals into their size, and they treated them in another way around. Coming back, they even molested him. I don't know about the concept, they even molested him.
Yes.
That is why sometimes you would tell that sometimes I feel bisexual. because of what the molestation that the experience that he got there. Coming back, he started to activate other channels, other chakras that you can be able to see outside outside the smaller thing. That is where he became more powerful because of certain energies. When they touches you, they leave certain powers to you. So they've left certain powers to you. Because of in some of us, that he once met that guy in a conference somewhere. When they met in a conference, or was in a shop or in a conference, that guy, when they met him, right into the eyes.
This is the white guy that was also abducted.
Yes, then he managed to vanish same time. He just moved out of the space.
Okay.
Running away from Baba because of they were all together there.
So how long was he abducted for?
I think they stayed there because of probably it was 5 or 7 days if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that whole experience, you say, enhanced his psychic abilities.
Yeah, a lot. Because of remember when we speak about the aliens, we speak about certain things that got other energies, other powers.
Yeah.
And then if you've been taking them and been touched by them, there are certain things that they are going to live in you. It's more like you've been touched by a powerful spiritual a child. Then certain things to you they change.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So after he came back from Rhodesia, it was Rhodesia in those days,
Rhodesia by then.
Zimbabwe, and he came back into his normal life. Did he continue to have a lot of encounters with ETs?
Well, in some parts in Africa, they would be called and say there's a space, there's a space where these things they saw them, they will be called as traditionally as high calibers, not just to go and pay and visit that space because of the way they knew how to communicate with them. Especially as Baba was one of the people who experienced that. Definitely he would be called, definitely he had contact with all of them. And some they would come during the dreams. Hence he ended up having a spiritual wife. That Mangobo had to understand that, hey, I've got a spiritual wife.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, well, talk about that. So he had another wife, but she was on the other side. She was
when you say the spiritual wife,
yeah,
nobody sees her.
Yes.
It's only me that I see her.
Yes.
And if I introduce my spiritual wife to my woman, to my wife, the wife will be able to see that. No one else.
Okay.
So those are the certain powers that are there.
Okay.
In this nature.
So did he have children?
It's not only Credo Mutwa who has a spiritual wife.
Yes.
There are those who have spiritual men, spiritual wives.
Yes.
Sometimes they are positive, sometimes they are negative.
I have heard of this. So was it positive or negative for him?
No, for him it was positive.
Was it positive?
It was the one that don't always bring messages, bring visions to him.
Did he have children with her?
No, you cannot have children with a spiritual child. With a spiritual.
You can't.
It's so spiritual.
That it's not.
It's not any human being can see that. It's only if it's your spiritual husband, it's your spiritual husband. But you need to notify your husband because of the spiritual husband is so jealous. He can cause harm to you. He can cause harm to your husband.
Okay.
Then the husband will understand and it will avail itself to the husband. Both of you are the only one who will be able to see them,
Okay.
not the children.
Okay.
Yes.
So the spiritual wife was like his spiritual guidance counselor.
Yes.
She gave him messages. She guided him, and
She
probably,
was a spiritual guidance.
Yes.
Yes.
And was she with him right up until when he
Up and
died?
down. Everywhere she's always been there.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Whenever they have to have their own time, their own moment, she will tell Mama, it's the time for this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Just give me a space to be with my spiritual
So
woman.
she was a big part of his power.
Yeah, she was a big part. She played an important role.
Okay.
She played an
All right.
important role
So,
in his spiritual journey.
as far as other encounters with ETs, do you know if there were any encounters here?
In this village.
Yes.
Well, I won't say yes. I won't say no because of experience. People see experiencing that in this village.
Have you had
That says
experiences?
people have experienced that in this village.
Mm-hmm.
I've experienced people experiencing that in this village.
Have you had any experiences here?
I mean, I'm part of them.
You're part of the ETs.
I would say I'm part because of if they like you, they like you. They won't just show them anyhow. But if they don't like you, it depends on your spirit. So I've got an experience of that here. That people saw those things being with me. Typically, one of the experiences that was a lady from Kwandebele. The traditional cabin is not there. They were like, yes, by then, usually when I'm in the village, I become like, it's more like, you might think that I'm a hobo or something, like so I become like dirty, like, you cannot even recognize that. Is this guy who's running the village? Is this guy who's going to tell me the stories about the space? You might be pushing me, it's one of those boys. So I was doing my tour around there with these other guys. I passed the ladies, they were sitting, they were here. So I greeted them, they didn't greet me. They just get me there, did my thing. Then when I left, one of the guys that was grooming up, Ivan, he came running to me, calling me that there is a problem that there is a lady who's in a trance. When I came here, the lady was in a trance, speaking to the tongues. Everybody didn't want to touch her. Then I started holding her. They wanted to give her what they would kick the container away. So I had to, because I know how to communicate with this. Then I took a mark, a steel mark, which is the one that we use for that. Then I said to build this should be water. And then I chased everybody here. It's only Ivan and these plants, 2 plants, because of she's a woman. I need to have another one here so that they cannot die because of it. See that they might say that I was manhandling. I think they can say anything when she woke up. So when the lady said another one, it sees her so that they cannot. So I started putting him down. When I looked into the eyes were filled with blood. She more like she was crying blood. So something, I tried to run away, but something, there's energy that pushed me back into her eyes. She started to pray in tongues. Then I started to pray in tongues. I spoke to her in tongues, busy speaking to her, then he ended up going down. She became okay. When she woke up, she knew what was happening. She cried and cried and cried. Then she left. After 2 weeks, she came and said to me, I was sitting here reading a book. She said, my brother, is it you, Lagos? Yes, it's me, Lagos. My brother, I'm sure the first time I saw you, I took advantage to you. I thought that these are the guys. So when you passed me, there was a huge spirit that passed with you. When I looked on your side, that side of the dinosaurs, there were monkey energies laughing and dancing whilst you're talking. That's how I started to go to trance. That's one of the experience. The second experience, I was with another guy by the name of Judas. It was at night, coming this way. He saw a white spirit coming like this. We were going this way. He said, hey, now I said, when you're drunk. When he says, well, this is a white man coming to us. I said, when I'm drunk. Then we are going to know, like, it's like, we passed each other, like, he went like side, passed through me. Then he went, I said, there's nothing like that. Even today, he still speaks about that story. I didn't believe him because I thought that he was drunk. But even today, he doesn't want to leave this place after seeing that. The third one happened when there was a what they call it, a dab, a Rastafarian dab. We were especially approaching the Rastafarian. We were sitting.
What's a Rastafarian dub?
That is when they come together and dance and celebrate.
Okay.
Yeah, so they usually come and do the events and the world. So we're sitting outside, they're busy listening to music, sitting in a chair. A girl from she had a short hair. I don't know what she saw. She immediately freezed, and the wind went up. We were like shocked and look at her. When we looked aside, there was something like a figure like this. We don't know whether it's a dog or something like that. We tried to run after it. It vanished in the space. So I can say this, there are certain things like that here. I would say yes, because they've never harmed me. Me personally, it's only those moments that I've experienced. Because of, I sleep here, I do everything here.
Yeah. So those experiences, did you think that they were dark spirits? Or
No.
They were
a dark spirit will always harm you.
Yeah.
A good spirit, you don't harm you. If you think they were meant for you, they will come to you. If they're not for you, they're not for you. If a bullet wants to shoot you, it will shoot you. If it wants to shoot me, if it was meant for me, it was meant for me.
So, Lebo, have you done initiation as a Sangoma?
No.
No. Or in a younger, you don't do any magic yourself? No. Okay. But you must have many coming to visit here.
A lot of them, they come here. A lot of them, they want a spiritual guidance. A lot of them, they come and say, we dreamed about this village, Baba. And so you should remember, Baba, as the elder, it does not only belong to his family. The family gave Baba, I would say the family decided Baba to be owned by the world itself. They never got a chance to get more time than the people of the nation, because Baba was Baba for the nation, not for the family only. So a lot of people will come and say, I dreamt of Baba, because he doesn't come to one person, he multiplies to all the spiritual people around.
So how did Baba get his messages? Was it from his spiritual wife? Was it in his dream time?
As Baba, as you said, as I told that he started to be powerful at the age of 8, especially as a child.
Yeah.
So he gets his spirit or his powerful energies from the universe itself, from the ancestors itself, from the nature itself. He connects with everything. Whatever that he can get information that can speak to him, he always comes up. Remember, it's all about absorbing positive energies. So he was really, as a person, but let me say, he's a person of wisdom. Nature would provide.
But did he ever go into a trance and, come out of the trance and have all these recollections of things that had happened, like leaving his body?
We speak about that. Remember, we don't speak about any traditional Shila here. You need to know things, you need to experience things so that you can be able to speak about them. So the question that you ask is that another question that definitely has to go to a trance. You cannot be a traditional leader without going to a trance, especially in the caliber of Baba. Baba would do certain things that other people cannot do.
Yeah.
That is why he was so powerful. And you should remember, the education, Baba was a well-educated person. He would travel for information to get to empower himself in terms of education. You don't want to rely on one stupid information. So when they say it's a ring, they say, I'm going to say it's a ring. He will make sure that he goes and looks for the blueprints of that thing that you're speaking about.
But did you ever see him going into a trance?
No, I've never seen him going to a trance. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Only time I would see him when he's like seriously, emotionally, seriously engaging. Yes.
Okay. I've seen that side of him too.
Yes.
And he was very well connected. Very, very well.
It will be special. Sometimes to see Baba, those who saw Baba in two chants, they were so special. They were so special. Because of certain things. In fact, Baba was so wonderful. I don't know how I can explain it.
He was very special. I mean, he was one of a kind, and it's very sad that he's now crossed over, and it's very important for us to document and remember all of the wisdom that he brought through. And I know he wrote several books, 6 or 7 books?
17.
17. And most of them
and before those 17 books are the ones that are well known. Before 17 books, there were books that he wrote. He tried and tried and tried going to doors. They were like trying to, especially jealousy friends and all the stuff. And other friends were good to him and say, if all the stories that you tell us, that is why I started to write books. All the stories, why don't you document them? Why don't you write books upon them? And until he get this village. This is why when he started now to say, now I can be able to showcase who am I in terms of the talent, who am I in terms of the messenger, the one who will be able to keep the stories of an African child.
Okay. So he was a prolific writer.
Yes.
But a lot of his books are out of print, which is very sad.
Yeah, it's very sad, but the family is working hard to make sure that they get some other, especially the rights come back to them, because most of the rights are not owned by the families, and some of the books that are not on stocks are no longer there. The family is trying hard to make sure if they can be able to make sure that they get proper information to reprint them and start, because of remember in each and every number my children that you buy, the family doesn't benefit. So it will be nice now they come with a quoting so that they could be able to get all the books of Baba and start to them to publish them so they can be able to benefit. Those books, when Baba made them, they were meant to teach an African child to understand who is she, where is coming from, and to make sure that we create lots and lots of hospices in Africa and push African herbs as the #1 herb to fight all the viruses, especially incurable viruses that are coming in this world that are affecting us. So that those monies doesn't go there. They'll go to the wrong people who doesn't know why Baba wrote those books.
Yeah.
Because it was not
So,
only for him.
all the manuscripts and all that, are they with the family now?
Some are with the families, some they're still fighting to get them back.
Are they?
Yes.
Okay. Because there's a lot of value in all of that.
Definitely. It's
And
a long journey, but definitely they will win
also
the battle.
his healing tinctures, because he was an Inyanga as well as a Sangoma. And I know he came up with a lot of healing tinctures for things like AIDS, malaria, etc. What has happened to all of that wisdom?
Today, as we speak, let's speak about Suza Lendia Unwele, one of the greatest help that Baba now I can be open and speak about it.
Sanalandia.
Suza Lendia.
Yes.
They call it the cancer bush.
Yes.
Or cankerbos.
Yes.
That plant, it's one of the powerful plants that was used by the Quaison.
Yes.
That managed to each and every virus that affects the blood. That plant is very much powerful for that. So Baba, when he spoke about in 1999, Baba said, if African shamans or African healers can be given a chance to fight upon this virus using sound and other African herbs and technique, definitely through that we can manage to kill this virus in the system of a human being. The following day, in the news, the former health minister, Mantwa Musimango, said that whoever said can cure HIV and AIDS must be arrested. So Baba decided to withdraw back and said, no, I'll put this into a book. Today, he spoke about Switzerlandia. It doesn't say that it stops you from the HIV and AIDS. Yes, 90%, 80% it does help. But don't stop taking your ARVs because of you. Remember, the pharmaceuticals are fighting with the traditional healers. The pharmaceuticals, they bring in the drugs, which is a drug, cause a blood clot, they've got the side effect, and then they don't kill the virus, they tame the illness. Whereas the herbs, the African herbs, traditional herbs, they want the core. They need the core of that virus or that illness, not to tame it, they kill, they destroy it into your system. So those were the two fights. That is why I said carry on with it, but definitely it does help you. If you go to a hospice and ask and give a patient who's HIV positive, who now the doctors have done everything in their powers to help that person, you just make an aloe juice or not aloe juice, I mean a Sutherlandia tea or a Sutherlandia juice. You give it to that person 3 times a day. I put my head on the block. Come after 2 weeks,
and they'll be better. So they're saying that AIDS is or COVID is a derivative of AIDS.
Yes.
Okay. So would you think that Sundalandia would also help with AIDS?
Sundalandia
with COVID, sorry.
Sundalandia is one of the best herbs. If you take Sundalandia and mix it with the wild ganja and the lion's tail,
okay,
and you mix it with I don't know what you call it in English, mohalakani. You mix them together.
Yeah.
It will make a strong, powerful concoction, unlike taking them individually. Definitely, if you drink them today, tomorrow, or 2 days after, you'll come with them.
Very interesting.
Those are African herbs. Those are traditional herbs. They don't have a side effect. Okay. That is why Baba said each and every house must have. It's so useless for me to cure Africa or to cure South Africa. Then when I cure South Africa, when I go to Nigeria, there are people who are coming again and infect the South Africans. So Sundalandia, it's a plant that needs to be planted in each and every household because it doesn't have a side effect and it helps for all the blood or all those viruses that are very dangerous in terms of the system of a human being. And that is why it was the #1 plant that was used by the indigenous people of South Africa or of Africa, the Khoi and the San people.
But there must have been a lot of herbal tinctures that Baba had.
It's not only Sudan. That is why 90%, if you check it, Baba planted alu.
Aloe.
Yes.
Okay.
Why he planted alu? He said in the next coming years, there's going to be lots and lots of viruses, all these of disease are coming. And alu will be the number one plant that's going to be used. We got to preserve alu because of number. Alu is it's one of the best medicines that we have, or one of the herbs that we have in this country.
Okay, but there's many different types of aloe.
Yeah, we have different types of alu here.
Oh, have you?
And they work in different ways. That is why almost 80% of the illnesses, the medications, they have alu inside.
So are there many of Baba's students still alive that are still using his herbal medicines? Because I know
it's not only his students who are still using his teachings in terms of herbal medications. As most of the traditional healers, that is why they still follow Baba. Now they're more like into his teachings, into what he's doing, because of his God. Baba is not, man, I don't know how to put this. It's not only his students or those who manage to fall under his teachings. Most of the traditional leaders, they still follow Baba's teachings in terms of the herbs. Because Baba are one of those people who manage to make sure that they discover plants, herbs that can be able to heal certain viruses.
Okay. So can you tell me what is Credo's full names and what do they mean?
Credo, it's the name that he got from the father side. Remember, the father was the builder of the missionaries. So he ended up being a missionary. So as you know that, besides that, most Africans in South Africa, you need to be given a missionary name so that you can take to get other access. So Credo means I believe.
Okay.
That means I believe.
Okay.
And some others they say means Jesus.
So he was brought up as a Christian.
His father was a Christian.
Yeah.
Later on, he denounced Christian, and he went back because of the power, because of the illness that he had, because of the spirituality. So he was taken back to his mother's side. That is where he started to be taken and be raised under them. After he became a traditional healer, he denounced Christianity, and that made him not to get along with his father and his stepmother.
Okay.
Yeah, he was stopped from paying a visit.
Okay.
Then he started traveling. The first time he traveled with the seven priests of the apostolic churches, the seven churches, they started traveling. So coming back, then he started to travel with, because he used to work for in an Indian shop. So he used to help that they work behind the shop. So that Indian guy used to travel the world because of Indians understand medicine, because of it was a spice shop. So that's how most of the herbs, the medicine managed to learn from that Indian person. So they were traveling the world and the place. That's how he started to develop the love of traveling, the love of getting information, going out to get information to empower himself so that he can be able to empower other people.
Okay. So just to change the subject a little bit, my passion is land healing.
Yes.
And I travel all over sub-Saharan Africa, healing places that have been affected by wars, strife, famine, disharmony, political upheaval, etc., of which we have a lot in this area. And I'm very interested in the ley lines, the energy lines, the dragon lines, there's various names for them, that run underneath the earth, and the animals know, like the elephants always follow the ley lines, other animals follow the ley lines. It is my feeling that the colonialists, the people that came here and conquered and colonized this part of the world, were masters of the black arts and had the ability to lock down the ley lines and to use the energy in Africa for their own nefarious means. Because we all know that
the ley lines are the ones that connect us and understand the wisdom that we have. They opened the channels. They know how to trigger. Using that, you can be able to you can be a magician, let me say so. So when those people who came into Africa of the using power of light, they were taught by the Africans the power of the ley lines, how to use them, not realizing that they are selling that for them so they can be used against them. Because of what they were doing is they were doing it out of generosity. Remember, the number one rule in Africa is like we don't own the land. The land belongs to the Creator. Everything is there. We are just passing by. We are part and parcel. We are just passing by. I don't own this. It is nice for me to share with you, for you to know this knowledge. Not realize that the knowledge that I'm imparting you, it is the one that's going to be a weapon that's going to be used against me.
Yeah. So who still has that knowledge amongst the wisdom keepers here in Africa?
We still have those people who still have those wisdoms, but they don't understand more about it. But some of the wisdom keepers, they don't want to be known. It's fortunate and unfortunate for Baba. Even Baba didn't want to be known. This was known because of, for him it was not Mponi and Simi wanted to break. It is because of the end media end up making to, because of most of the spiritual people don't want to be known.
Yeah.
They prefer to work in sacred space and get peace, because of once they get known, they will disturb their peace. So we still have those people like that.
Did Baba have that wisdom?
Ah, Baba has that wisdom.
Does Virginia have that wisdom?
Well, I won't say Virginia has that, because of I'm not gonna say much. I'm not gonna say much about it.
Yeah.
Probably, if we can get if we can get a permission, maybe the daughter, because of she's around, she's with her Tasa, she might be able to. Maybe we can ask her to be part of the interview.
That would
Maybe
be
she can be
fabulous.
that.
Yeah.
But after the break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because maybe she can be able to help to answer certain questions. Because sometimes it's nice to speak while the family is here.
Did Baba ever speak about the predictions or the prophecies for the future of South Africa and Africa?
We're still waiting for the next year.
What's
In
that?
1983, Baba made a prophecy about a woman president
Oh.
who will come in the elections of the year 2020s.
Yeah.
That woman is the one that's going to put South Africa, who's going to bring back South Africa into a line.
Into a line, okay.
Yes.
And when will that be?
We're expecting that by next year, because of next year we are voting.
2024?
Because of he spoke about 3 presidents.
He spoke about 3?
Yes. He said in 1990 he spoke about them in Thabo Mbeki, that Thabo Mandela, okay, we know that Mandela spoke about Mandela going to be president, that's fine. Mandela coming, all knew that Mandela was going to, without his prophecy, then that's when Mandela came out. Then he said Thabo Mbeki will be the president, and Thabo Mbeki will sit for 2 terms. The first time, that was the 1st of July 1999. Thabo Mbeki, the second term, he will be kicked out of his office without finishing the term. The traditionalist will be the one who will take over. And the traditionalist will try by its level best just to improve the life of a black child. But he will be kicked out. The same as Thabo Mbeki will be kicked. The one who's going to take over will take everything back to the oppressor in terms of economically and material-wise. And the one who's going to take from that is going to be a woman who's going to bring change to South Africa. So we're expecting a woman president next year.
The reason for the question is I wanted to know, like, from which side politically she was going to be coming from, this woman, but we have no idea.
We don't know. Wherever she's going to come, she might come from the ground.
Yeah.
It might be someone that we don't know. It might be someone that we know. That is why if you see everything now, it's channeling the feminine energy. We are using the feminine, everything's all about feminine energy.
Absolutely.
Now, people are starting to be enlightened, people are starting to understand, to recognize the feminine energy.
Yeah.
We're living in the feminine energy right now. Right now, we're sitting right in the womb of a woman in a feminine energy, because of we are sitting in a sangala. Anything that is round represents a woman. The box thing now, people are starting to kill it because of the box. Almost that's what they lock us. They put us all those things. Say you focus, follow the law, be a soldier. What else? A round ball says the energy flows together. We can see each other. We can think inside the womb of a mother, not outside of the box.
Okay. So this prediction about this female that's coming in, she's going to take over as president or
As
some
the president.
powerful position.
Yes.
Is that going to turn South Africa around? Because the way that we're going now, we're really on a very dismal path.
Hence, The prophecy said he's going to change the game. He's going to make things to go according to the law, according to the way it's supposed to go. So we're expecting that.
Okay. Right.
We cannot say the one that's going to come is going to do that or not. We will see.
Yes.
As much as in 1994, when we voted, especially the children of apartheid, we thought that the champion of education will give back our education, whereas the first black government, the first black president, the one who was championing education, he failed us. He failed my generation. The thing that was supposed to give us is education.
Mandela.
Yes, was supposed to give us education. We celebrated that he's going to give back education. He never did it. So we don't know whether this woman that's going to be a president will bring positive change or negative change.
But what did Baba say?
He said he's going to bring a positive change.
Positive change, okay.
But things, there are people who can change. Who can change predictions, who knows things are going to happen and see that's going to and start to step that energies. So we will see. Let's wait and see. It's only few months to the voting station to put that feminine energy into the. In fact, it's all about the feminine energy.
Yeah.
It's not all about it's going to be a woman, especially in a physical form. Even if the president is going to be there, he's going to push a feminine energy because of the feminine energy is the one that heals.
Well, that's the new energy for the new earth, the new Aquarian age that we're going into is all feminine. We're moving away from the patriarchal energy.
It's a healing. Now it's a healing age that we're going into.
Yes, absolutely. So we should be going into a gentler, kinder, more loving energy. Was there any other predictions that Baba made that are still to come about?
Well, for now, before he passed on, the one that he did for the last time, it was about the COVID that we came from. This is this last prophecy that we're going to see now. And now we're expecting, because of we don't know who's going to take over from him. Remember, a prophecy, a prophet, and a shaman, and a traditional healer, and inyanga are 4 different types of people. They are not the same.
But he was all one.
He was all one. Inyanga is somebody who understands medicine, who deals with medicine. Isangoma, traditional healer, is the one who can go to trance, who can communicate with those on the side of the real life, which is of the physical life. Let me say not the life, because it's still a real life. Who can communicate with those over the physical life? Who can use the bones? Who can use energies? And a prophet is somebody who can prophesize small things. Yeah, things that are happening in a village, or can prophesy just like someone telling you about the future and all the stuff. And then when we speak about a shaman, we speak about the person who speaks about the nations and nations, who sees the future of the nations and nations, not just more than a thing. And a shaman must be humble at all time. To become a shaman, you don't just wake up and say, become a shaman. There is a journey, a huge, not comfortable, easy journey that you have to go, that you have to be tested to be.
Absolutely. And if anything, Baba was incredibly, he had a lot of humility.
A lot of
beautiful,
a lot of one. Whereby he even went up in a ritual whereby in Kruger National Park they had to dig a hole and put the body inside and left the head outside and let a hungry lion come. They let the lion, what do you call it? A clan of lions. A pack of lions, hungry lions, not eaten for several days. They will release them to test as a shaman. They will have to go there. You have to make a telepathy. You got to communicate. The body is stuck inside the soil, it's only the head outside. You gotta communicate with those animals not to eat you. He passed those rituals, he went those rituals. It's not easy to become that. So a lot of people now, they are coming out saying blah, 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 blah. We cannot say no until we see your works. A lot of people, they came, others came with wearing big things. Last time he said that I am the one who was, Baba left me to become a shaman. I said, I don't know. If you say so, he came through the dreams, you say so. We will see. I'm not here to tell you that you are a shaman or not a shaman. And I'm not going to test you. The universe or the nature will test you as a shaman.
There are things that have gone on in South Africa which would make the mountains cry. There are stories which should be told in this country, but which will never be told. All I can tell you,
they put a Christ thought right on the crown. So the crown is very much important. The crown, it is the center of a human being. That is why even the goats, when they fight, they hit each other using what? The crown. Because of that is where we connect. We do our telepathy. The two animals on the chest, they show the strength, the intelligence, the beauty, and the power of the nature itself. In Africa, we say a cow gives birth to a human being. Why we say so? We eat from the cow, we drink from the cow, we dress by the cow. As Africans, we use the cow as a well because we create big families using a cow. Bongani said, yes, you are not the people supposed to eat meat. He's quite right. The only time when we eat meat, it's only in winter. Because of winter, that is when we hunt. We need the animals, we need the skins to create the loins. We need the skins to make sure that you make the blankets. So when you go and hunt, what you do is you don't just wake up in the morning and say, kunta kunte, I'm going to hunt. No. First thing first, you have to go to the elders. Ask a permission from the elders. The elders, they will say to you, put yourself in that animal's skin and feel if it was you who was going to be hunted. How are you going to feel? That's telepathy. When you go and hunt an animal, the one that's going to hunt has already been prepared for you. Then you think that I killed the whole springbok. No. Coming back, don't take the whole springbok. What you take, it's only a few portions. That's going to be enough for the family to eat because of the winter it's there, so that the blood can be warm. We only eat fresh meat once, only in winter, because of the skin needs to be warm. We don't eat a portion of the meat because of the cannibal. We don't have what came for us for eat. When it's fresh, it becomes warm. Well, that is why we have got all diseases because of we eat a cold meat that comes from the fishes. So after telepathy, when we have to leave the rest for the animals that are just like the choose. When you hunt, you don't go for the young one or the middle one. You have to go for the oldest. Because of this, that's what and the leopard, as Africans, we say the leopard represents the spirit of a woman, mainly an African woman. Reason being, the leopard, it's so beautiful, intelligent, powerful, fearful cat that can survive all the odds in the jungle, just like a leopard. And then once it smells fear, just like a woman, run away. Because of when it smells fear, it becomes dangerous, just like a woman. That is why African kings, that is why great shamans of Africa wear the leopard skin. They possess the spirit of a woman, the spirit of an African woman. In Africa today, especially in South Africa, we have two types of marriages. We have the Western marriage. I call it the Christian marriage because of the people that we put by the priest there. You have each other 2 days of we tell him we all go for that. The Christian marriage destroyed the African families, destroyed the way Africans used to run their families. Because of in an African life, we don't say one person rules. We say you go concurrently, not parallelly. Because of once you rule parallel, it is up to speed. But when it's concurrently, you do the things together. The Western marriage says the father is the head, the mother submit. Whereas the traditional marriage says both of us, we are equal. Yes! We rule equally, but we are not at par. As a woman, you are bigger spiritual. Until I reach the high level of spirituality, then you can claim and say we are at par. the mother is carrying a spear. The first weapon which was given to an African man to protect the motherland. And in Sesotho we say, "Mme o tshwara thipa ka bohale." The mother is the one that holds the sharpness of the spear to protect his family. She's got 4 eyes. 1, 2, the third eye is on the chest, and the fourth one is on the leg. That is on the leg. It is for her as the mother, nature, to look and take care of her nature. That is why the families, you mothers, are the ones who are taking care of the children. You are the ones who taught the children how to walk, how to talk, how to respect and to be responsible. The responsibility of the father is to give thy children identity, to know where it comes from. Wherever it goes, it got to go positively and strong. In Africa, when you take the love of the mother and the father and combine it, we get the great African wisdom. In China, the way we are born. The 4 breast, 1, 2. The third one is on the heart chakra, and the fourth one is sucked by the little lamp on the leg. That is where we suck divine love, integrity, humanity, and good life itself. In this village, not in Africa, in this village we say, whenever a child is born, it doesn't have the brain. For it to have the brain, that is when it has to be breastfed by its mother. That is why behind a powerful president and a powerful king, we find a breast of a strong, powerful mother. Behind a strong, powerful family, we find the breast of a mother. In Africa, we say now, the garden of love grows into the grandmother's heart, which is a woman. There's no one with a powerful love just like a mother or a grandmother. There are 2 boys that are sitting on top of a lake. If you look at them, they are pointing each other, fighting over stupidness. Out of that stupidness, we find the positive teaching. Those boys, they fight over a penis. The one that is pointing this way is got a big bafana penis, and the other one is got a small ndwana penis. The teaching that we get there is, as people, we should stop fighting over small things. We always focus on the negative than on the positive. Today, as we speak right now, we worship material more than anything else in the world and forget about the importance of a human being. Remember, as African children, we are not the people of the material. We are the people of the big family, because a big family is a world to us. But today, we are the consumers of the material more than any race in this world. That material brings what? Hatred, separation, jealousy, that leads to killing each other. That is why I introduced the girl, Lerato Unolitano, which means love. She says, guys, come on, let's stop all the hatred. Let's stop fighting over small things. Let's come together, embrace each other, and make this earth a better, powerful place. In the name of the mother, the father, not the son, but the child. Remember, your body is just a vessel that protects the inaugural child. Takes them to carry a cross. When they went to the conflict, when the queens are in the conflict, no one can stop them. It's their place. So when the army started carrying there, when the queen saw that, when they saw the cross, they immediately bowed down. But they said, Abelungu. Abelungu means the white gods. They refer them as the gods because of ancient people believe that the gods are so white as snow. So they thought that those are the messengers from the gods because of the cross. In Africa, we have 2 types of cross. We have a T cross, the Jesus Christ cross. That is the cross of the dead. We have an X cross, the one that we use in South Africa to vote. They say, hey, Mandela, when you are wrong at school, they put a red pen. Hey, wrong. That is the cross of the devil. The one that was used by the blacksmith of Africa. If they want to curse each other, one blacksmith will use a piece and put an X to curse another one. Then we have an Ankh cross, the divine cross, the cross of life. That goes with our family, with the prayer, the mother, the father, and the child. So this other country's card, they had the cross of the dead. So the queens immediately bowed down and submit to them. And because of the long time not mating, they said, it's going to be a good chance for us to make with the messengers with the God. Unfortunately, the king heard that they were visitors. He comes to get the report. Unfortunately, he's gonna make and catch the virus. Then the medicine man tells the king that the virus that is spreading, it is beyond his power. That's the virus that's gonna swamp the world by itself. In the next coming years, the people of this earth will be infected and affected by this disease. But African continent, it is the one that's going to be mainly affected and infected. A reason being, America and Europe will be using Africa as a gambling and a testing ground. We just experience it right now. COVID. Yes, there will be a medicine, but the medicine won't kill the virus. It will change the virus and work in the laboratory. Today they are working together. That is why there are ARVs that doesn't kill. They kill the virus. The stupid king was killed by the virus. In the middle, that is the prince of the king. To show all sexual transmitted infections or diseases that cause HIV and AIDS. The likes of the cauliflower, the drought, you can speak about them, you cannot finish. The syphilis. Credo Mutwa is one of the elders who came with a cure of syphilis in Africa. There are some viruses that turn themselves into a human face. If you look closely, that's not a human face. It's a symbol that we are using. As an example, a tortoise to us African people, when we see a turtle, we see a symbol of Asian. It can take a tortoise only 20 years to move from it to go to that greenhouse. Storm, raining, blah 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 blah. At the end of the day, it will reach there. But this one, the message that we get here is Isikat, and the story of Isikat, whereby the world, we're living in the seventh world right now. All the past 6 worlds were sitting on top of the tortoise. That is why the world is circulating slowly, because of the tortoise is still drunk, carrying the world on its own. There was this time where the mother nature was speaking to the tortoise after the 6th world. That never respected what was happening. So the tortoise was so angry that there's nobody, every time, all the hardships they are facing to him. So he didn't want to carry this world. So what happened is the mother nature was hitting. He had to call a young boy who managed to sit down with the tortoise and make it drunk. When he was drunk, sleeping, when he woke up in the morning, he found that the land was on top of him. Hence in Africa, we say Africa is sitting on top of the world. Why he did so? It says that if a man doesn't want to perform his duty that has been assigned to do, for him to do that, give that man a drunk, make that man become drunk. When he's drunk, definitely he'll do what he wants to do. That's what it is told about Sikata, what one Credo Mutwa in one of his prophecies. And this is the arrival of the virus HIV and AIDS. The one that is affecting us. That the elder had a vision about it in 1979. In America and Europe, they started to know about the AIDS virus. That was in 1983-82. Here in South of Africa, it was 85-86. And those years were just deadly viruses. They never had the names. Until 89-90, when they were given the name as AIDS. In the vision of the elder, there was the character, one of the previous kings who was so greedy and stubborn, couldn't want to allow any man to marry or date a woman. Reason being, he knew the power and the strength that we possess as women. That is why he was so greedy. And this side, we find the medicine man who was advising him to stop being greedy and allow the men of the good men to marry and make love to the nature. Reason being, there are going to be uninsurable and deadly diseases that are coming in this earth. And when they come, they will infect this family will affect the whole continent. As a stubborn and a greedy king, he ended up marrying 7,500 wives. Some of them doesn't remember them, and they're in the other countries. Remember, when you are married by the king, you become a queen, and they will send the warriors to guard you.
Johannesburg, the city of gold. I have to ask you about the gold mines and this lattice of tunnels that's beneath our feet.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything nefarious about those gold mines? Are they used for anything other than the mining of gold?
You should understand we're living in a world whereby people are trying to discover, people are trying to do research and discover certain things and all that stuff. and certain people are doing certain things, doing this, but on the other side is doing this. The tunnels that we find in Johannesburg is not only, I don't believe that it's only for the gold. There are sacred things that are happening that side there. There is sacred life, sacred society. People are meeting inside there, doing their things, doing the culture and everything that are happening inside there. So because of we are on top of the land, of the earth itself, we don't see what is happening. That is why sometimes I have a problem in my community if I see a truck, typical example of people standing there wearing bibs and they start digging there. I go there and ask, why are you digging here? What is it that I so that we can to know what is happening? Because a lot of things are happening. We've got different kinds of energies that are coming in this world. We have the tunnels, like the towers that are used as the tunnels, so that these energies can come inside and do their things inside there. The secret societies are a lot of here. We've got a lot of cults that are happening. So we cannot say it's only the gold things that are happening. There are people like who are still living under the ground.
Yes.
There's another life that is happening right in these tunnels that are underground that we're standing on top of.
Well, we can go deeper than the tunnels. We can go down into Middle Earth or Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Did Baba Credo ever speak about Hollow Earth and the people that live in the center of the earth?
He was even tested. There was a time whereby he was tested in terms of speaking about the life in the water, right? Because of the water is sitting on top of the surface of the earth. So a lot of people think that no, it's earth, then it's water, then it's like small like layers and layers and layers and layers. There was a time whereby the system, they called all the national people in the cameras wanting to test him. He said to them, don't come and waste my time. Because of all the cars, all the scrap cars that you've thrown at Moroka Dam. You are killing you are destroying the energies that are because of underneath that land, there is a life underneath that road. They couldn't believe when he said, but how did you know that we thrown in the truck? But he said that. But you think that I'm just that kind of a spiritual person who just passed my test there? I know what you did and I can see that my energies were there. You told me, yes, there is life underneath. That's a traditional healer. When you go and be initiated in water, you don't just sit like the mummy, you fish, no. You go deep right into the ground of the water underneath. That is where you get initiated. That is where we find the types of. There's a sculpture there of the serpents that lives in the water. That is the one that whenever as a traditional healer you go to water and be initiated there, that is the serpent that you find inside there.
Okay.
Yes.
So I saw over in one of these other sculptures here, there's a big woman similar to this, and then beside her there's a child, but the child's actually got a fish's tail.
Oh, that's you think about the big woman.
Yes.
That is a stage of wisdom. The woman in that sculpture, she's pregnant. On the side, it's a mermaid sitting on the side, giving the on in front it's an eagle.
Yes.
And then giving the mother nature the fish. These are the fins. That says the mermaid, the goddess of water. She gives the mother earth the life, which is a fish. Remember, fish is a symbol of good life, so that she can give life to all the intended life that is living inside of his pregnancy. In that pregnancy, it's human beings, animals, birds, all the living life that you can find. It is inside that woman. That is why next to her there is something like an egg. The egg represents all the species that lays an egg.
Yeah.
So on top it's an owl. Just like we have two behind me, we have two eagles, birds. Those are the birds that we find outside.
Yeah.
Those are the protectors and the advisors of the mother nature.
And what does the owl represent?
The owl is a symbol of wisdom. It protects and advises the mother nature, the nature during at night. The eagle, it's a symbol of strength. It protects and advises the mother nature during the day.
Okay.
Yes.
Very nice. Very, very good. So Baba used to speak a lot about the Niletic meridian.
Yeah.
The meridian that runs down the 32-degree longitude line from the pyramids of Giza all the way down through Africa and comes out at Durban, at Phoenix.
At Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah. That river of gold he spoke about, is that going to become more powerful in the years ahead?
And nothing in this world, that is in under the sun. And it's going back to what I said, that whatever that has been done naturally by the nature itself, it still serves the purpose.
Well,
Whatever it was saving, 65 or 100,000 or 200,000 or 2 million years ago, is still going to serve the very same purpose. As a mother, the very same child that you gave 20,000 years ago, you're still going to give the very same way that you gave 20,000 years ago. The very same love that you shared with a child of 20 years, the very same love that you will share. You can give a break of 20 years not giving a birth.
Okay, I think what I'm alluding to is, for instance, the white lions of Timbavati that incarnated, and Baba predicted their incarnation in the early 70s, and they've incarnated on the Niletic Meridian. There's significant things like the pyramids of Giza are on the Niletic Meridian. Harare is on the Niletic Meridian. Masavingo, where the Great Zimbabwe ruins, is on the Niletic Meridian, and so on. It seems to be a place of very high frequency, high earth energies, that significant events occur there. So I'd just like to talk to you for a moment about the white lions.
Yes.
Okay. What did Baba say about the white lions?
A white lion is a sacred animal of the stars.
Sorry, is it what?
It's a sacred animal.
Sacred animal.
Of the stars.
Of the stars, yeah.
The white lion is one of the most species that was created by the universe, by the nature itself, to guard and guide the nature itself. That is why you won't find any white lion anywhere. Remember, South Africa, it is the land of the great shamans. It is the land of eternity. That is where you find the wonders of the world in South Africa. That is why you find all the powerful energies that are happening in Southern Africa. So hence I'm saying, though all those spots they speak about, they align with the Milky Lane. So as long as it's a spiritual thing, it always cleanses itself. As much as the earth itself, as they say, the world is going to be finished, no world is going to be finished. The mother will serve. Those that are not needed in this earth will go out. That are going to say are the ones that are needed for that purpose. As much as those kind of people that we speak about, even now today, they still have the power.
Yeah.
Hence the white lion, you speak about the white lion itself.
But
Africans are using a white lion as one of the powerful animals. It's a sacred animal for us. That is why the Basotho culture, we call it Tawu Namane Etsekhana, the white lions. That is the one that they use to initiate a king. When a king has been initiated, for especially what they do is especially when they like, I don't know about to Vuselela, when they are reviving the kingship, what is happening is they will call all the men will go to a kraal. They will kill a bull by its hand, put all and burn it there with its skin like, while the king that side has been given a spear with a shield, with a white hungry lion. He must attack and kill that white lion, so that he can regain his power again. The heart of that lion, while still hot, the king will come out from his kraal, stand in the gate and throw it. The one who was going to grab that, he will straight into the kraal of the king. No one is going to know what's going to be happening. That's it. Probably maybe it's the one that's going to be sacrificed with that white animals. White animal is one of the animals that is the more like a key to the ancestors, a key to that other side of the world.
Okay. I thought it was purity and also heralding a new age that's birthing with when the white lions incarnated.
You should understand, we spoke about what the feminine energy, that is a kind of thing. We speak about the one that is purifying everything. It's still the same thing. Now things are changing, things have been changed. The spirit of a white lion is there to purify, to change everything, to align things positively. That is why the woman who's going to be a president has to be given the skin of a white lion, not a leopard, because of now he has and more like accepted. He has passed a higher grade because of now is going to be leading nations and nations, not one nation.
So a white lion's more powerful than a leopard now?
No, I'm saying the leopard, the white leopard. Remember the white leopard, one, it's a sacred animal of the stars.
Yeah.
It's not just an animal that you can associate just like a tawny lion.
Yeah.
Or albino lion.
Yeah.
So it's this thing that is sacred. Hence women are so sacred. Hence women are so spiritual. Hence the leopard is so spiritual.
Okay. Very interesting. And how does that correlate with the sphinxes? You know, there's the sphinx in Egypt.
Yeah.
The half lion, half man.
There's a things this side. The guys will go and take a picture of it.
Okay.
We have a things that side. The head of an eagle and the body of a lion with wings.
All right.
Yes.
Do you know of any other sphinxes in South Africa, in the land?
I only know the one that you're speaking about. I know the one that they're speaking about, and I know the lion.
Okay.
But more, what is nice about the lion itself, especially the white lion, because of the phoenix, it's white too. They're using a symbol of a white lion. In all the tribes, in all the cultures, in all the races, they respect the phoenix, and it must be a white lion in there. An eagle and a lion are both the rulers of this earth. The eagle and the lion, they rule concurrently.
Okay.
The eagle is the king of the sky.
Yeah.
The lion, especially the white lion, is a sacred animal. It is the king of the jungle.
Well, they spoke of Jesus as being the Lion King of Judah.
The Lion of Judah.
Yes.
When we speak about that, when you go to Bible, which Jesus are we speaking about? Are we speaking about as a Christian Jesus, or are we speaking about the Jesus of the people? Because we've got two types of Jesus. We've got the Jesus, the actor, the one that is for the Christians. Then we've got the Jesus of the people that sits inside of you. That is your child inside of you. Which is your Jesus? It's a goddess to you. It's a woman to you. To me, it's a man because I'm a masculine. Which one are we speaking about here?
Well, which one relates to the Lion King?
The Lion King, it's more like speaking about the story. They want to show the life of the human beings and animals. In a real context, the lion is the one that gets messages. That is been called to get the message from who? It relies from the monkey, which was supposed to rely from the eagle, according to the African stories. So we should remember the Lion stories and the Lion King stories. Some of them were diluted so that they suit a certain type of people. Just like the Black Panther. The Black Panther that you watch on a movie, to me it's a fiction story compared to the real life story of a Black Panther. A Black Panther story, it's a real story.
Okay. Interesting.
Just like now, this Shaka Zulu that we used to watch before is different from Shaka Zulu the Lembe now. Because of the original Shaka Zulu tells that Shaka was the great king, whereas there were great kings before Shaka. Shaka was just a young boy compared to kings that were there before him. So it's all about telling the story that will suit certain people. But when you go to the blueprint doesn't say what the human being says.
What's interesting is that there's so many sacred sites that are coming to light now in Southern Africa. Places that had been in full view before, but people hadn't seen. Mountains with faces, standing rocks with faces, places where people have been doing ceremony for aeons of time.
Yeah.
And often they have lions or sphinxes depicted somewhere in that, either on the rocks or in the rock art, etc. There's also a lot of stuff depicted in the rock art of the Anunnaki when they first came here, and how they genetically modified the people that they found on this, certainly in Southern Africa. So the lion seems to have a strong correlation to our ancient history, and that's what I'm trying to find out more about, that lion. And I've often wondered if perhaps Jesus, I don't know which Jesus, walked this land, walked in Southern Africa. I think it's quite plausible that he did at some stage, that he visited this land and maybe was even born on this land.
According to Baba, Jesus Christ was born in Kuruman.
Really?
Yeah. The first black, the son of Jesus Christ was born. Mary gave birth to a son, which is the son of Jesus Christ.
So which Mary? Mary Magdalene?
Mary, the one who slept with Jesus Christ.
His wife?
Yeah, his wife. gave birth to a son in Kuruman, next to Moffat, next to
Robert Moffat's mission.
Moffat's missionary.
Yeah.
And then here came the French main troops, took that child and made him the first black empire of France.
The first black
Empire of France, according to
I
Baba's
didn't
teachings.
know there'd been a black emperor of France.
Yes.
Interesting.
And the first, that was according to Baba's teachings. It is the son of Jesus Christ that was gave birth to Mary. That is why in those 12 disciples, in the Last Supper, the 12th one that's sleeping on top of the shoulder, it's Mary. If you can check that, he's sitting like this, she's pregnant today.
Okay.
If you zoom it clearly.
Well, they say that's Mary Magdalene in the Last Supper. And it's her birthday, the same day as Baba Credo's.
On 21st.
Yeah.
So you were speaking about why the lion. Remember, it takes us back to my answer when I say a lion. It's a sacred animal of the stars, especially a white lion. So we are all the spirits. When they turn, especially most of the animals, we believe as African people, especially animals when they die, they become a star. So this one is a special one from amongst other stars.
Okay, just to come back to Kuruman, the eye of Kuruman, I believe is very... Tell me about the eye of Kuruman.
Well, that is where they say the gold was the big diamond, the one that you see from the Queen said. Those are some of the diamonds that were taken there. And then it is one of the sacred spaces, the Uwok, whereby if you chase somebody, that's what used to be told, especially by Mama Bichina, because she's come from that side, that says, whenever they chase a person, a sack, if he went to the Uwok, you won't see that person anymore. They just vanish there. It has its own powers.
But I've also heard it said that the eye of Kuruman is connected to the Nile.
Yeah.
Through the Zambezi River.
Yeah. It is. It's connected to the Nile. And you should remember, according to what I was teaching, a Nile River is a man-made river. It's not a natural one. It was created by people.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, the eye of Kuruman, I think, is something that's very significant in our sphere. Do you know anything about gold and the significance of gold?
It's gold, it's silver, it's lento, it's copper.
Platinum.
Yeah, those are very much important because of their help in terms of purifying the body itself and making the body to detox. And the gold was used especially as a form of healing. If your body, you've got all these types of diseases that they cannot do and everything, before they could do everything, you'll be smeared with gold. And only special people were designed to use gold. Not each and everyone was supposed to use gold, because gold is one of the powers. The different energies, but we call it the energies that we have that can be able to change things in the world, in the nature itself. One of the powerful natural resources that can heal, that can destroy. We can use a gold to destroy somebody's body just by mixing it with other types of herbs around the country, around the world.
What you're saying is that we should rather eat gold rather than...
It's not about eating gold. You can't eat gold.
Yeah.
Gold is more like, you cannot eat alu, but you can drink alu. You cannot...
So how do we consume gold then?
No, as I said, you cannot consume gold, but you can use gold to heal yourself. You can use gold to purify yourself, to purify your energy. Because there are techniques that have been used that by smearing the powder of it to you, because it's a natural resource, it can be able to heal and purify. It can be able to awaken certain other chakras that are hidden in you using gold on its own. That is why they say these are the minerals. This is nature. We are part of that. That is why there is an iron in your body. There is a zinc in your body. There is a calcium. Those are the things that you find in each mineral that you find in this world. We are part of the minerals. So you cannot, typical example, I know definitely the cow dung works in mysteriously. But I cannot just go and eat a cow dung. But I can use it to do other things for it. Spiritually, to cleanse certain energies, to purify certain things. Because of you need a certain things to purify a certain things. That is why they say pure gold is like pure. It's 100% natural. It does wonders. You can send negative energies using gold. You can send negative energies, positive energies using gold, silver, and.
Well, I think it's been scientifically proven that gold enhances your immune system.
Yeah.
So the more gold that you have in contact with your body, like using gold or silver cutlery and gold plates that have got gold embossed on them, is very good for your immune system.
And it can purify your aura.
Yes.
Yes, it can cleanse your aura.
I think it's opening up the third eye. And it all comes back to alchemy, because all the alchemists have always been trying to turn substances into gold, haven't they?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the copper people in Zambia that eat copper?
I know I heard about it, but I don't want to speak about something that I never did the proper research in. Because it's better to do a research, understand, and know why, so that when you speak about something, you speak about something because of hearing. It's a problem, because if you could hear somebody tell you something and then you run up with it and think that you know something.
Yeah.
Hear it, listen to it, learn it, go make your own research, find a blueprint of that, so that when you talk about something that you don't believe but you know. Knowing is something that is very much important than believing and saying, I heard that there is a red car that's still chilling that side, but I've never seen the car.
No, fair enough.
Then I start speaking about it. Yeah, it's not, no. Okay, there's another car that you can see the car and experience the car. Then when I come, then I can tell stories about that car. Let's find out the blueprint first of the thing before we can speak about it.
Just one final question in closing. We've noticed walking around here and looking at these sculptures and these places that many of the what look to be like fire pits on the ground are actually the shape of the all-seeing eye.
The shape of an all-seeing eye. When we speak about the all-seeing eye, we speak about the vision eye, the inner eye, the one that when you close, that ability that you can be able to see yourself as a child inside. Remember, this is a physical body, just a container. What is important is a child inside of you. The one that when you close the eyes, you can be able to see that child speaking to. They are there because of, and if you check over them, they're all in a seeing eye, and there is a round on it. That is the eye of the mother. Because of anything like that now, we are sitting right in the womb of a mother. So anything that's round represents the womb of a woman, fertility. That is why you see those eyes. It's like all-seeing eyes. It's not only the father, as the Christian says. We say the Ma is the one that is watching everything. That is the message that you get there.
That's very beautiful. Well, thank you. And I can't thank you enough for your time today and all your wisdom. It's been absolutely fabulous to meet you and to talk with you. And I hope this won't be the last time.
Definitely.
Okay. Sending you much love and blessings. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the viewers out there. Lesedi Khanya. This was just the first interview. Questions and Q&As are coming. Ask questions, you will ask me, we will see how to answer each other. But thanks for hosting me. It was a great interview.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching.
Ciao. Ha.
Thank you.